Well, so here we go again, one more time. Sure miss you. Haven't seen you for a long time, huh? Listen, so today we're going to do some other flowers, and we're going to be doing hydrangea today. And, well, I thought before we start, I'll let you know that, there's more than one way to keep threads. And see this basket here, I have this basket from Saudi Arabia. It's made by the Arabs. And it's just really beautiful, and have more than one use for it. If you don't have a basket like this, you can put any basket to keep your threads in. But I bet you thought that's how I had my basket, didn't you? Let me show you what I got here first. Now, first, don't leave. No matter what happens, don't leave. Okay, so that's the threads. I got a lot more threads over here. And I got all kind of threads over here, see? It's a Brazilian embroidery thread. How'd you like this one? See? Now, listen, don't go away. Won't let it get you. You wonder what this have anything to do with Brazilian embroidery? Well, it has. Because when I was in a plane crash in Amazon for a whole year and 2 months, I had to live with these little guys over there like that. I tried to get rid of them, but I found out there was too much to handle, and I couldn't really get rid of them, so I decided to make peace with them. And so from now on, I can just wear them for a necklace. Yes, right there. This is my friend Snakes. I'm babysitting her because not very many people want to take care of their pets like that. Well, I guess if you know a little bit about me, you know why I'm crazy about animals. And you're going to have to excuse me because, snakes, they're just like a cat and a dog. It's kind of hard to think that way, isn't it? But they are. Well, okay, so I better get on to a flower here. And like I said, we're going to do the Hortensia. Let me show you the one already finished. You can turn this into bedspreads or quilts. You can do anything you like with. You can even cut them up, make a smaller pillow. Cut them up again and make little Christmas ornaments. So as you can see, there is you know how to do the leaf already. You know how to do the French knots. And you know how to do the little branches there. And so, and you even know how to do the same French knots as what we do for a center. So you put as many French knots in the center as you wish, or as many as it fit in there. And usually the French knots here will be like 3 reps on the needle is pretty good if it's done with a Bossa Nova thread. For the center, you can use any, like the thin straw thread, the Bossa Nova, or you can use Luinha, Cachopa. Any of those are all right. So it makes a very nice pillow. And if you make it with the Bossa Nova thread, it comes out like the size for this pillow. So again, this is very, very awkward. I wonder where to start. So what you do, you place one of the 5 petals at 6 o'clock position again. Like I say, here is 6 o'clock. Not at 9 o'clock, not at 12 o'clock, and not at 3, at 6 o'clock. And when that petal is right there, you got to come up on the left side of the petal first. So first you bring the needle all the way through the fabric, and then this is the left side of the petal. You can see? And then you follow all the way around under this one with your needle, and then this is the right side. Because if you came over here, that's the left side of the other petals. So you got to watch where you go down and where you come up with this needle. And also, you cannot come towards the center, and you cannot go to the outside of the circle here. So the main thing is you come up and go down through, always on a little drawn line, like right on that little green line here. And this one, when we say come up in that hole and go down the same hole, you better believe it, because otherwise you're going to run out of space. So all right. So first you bring the thread all the way up on the left side of the petal, right on the circle, see? And then you go down Insert your needle down through the fabric on the right side of the petal, and at the same time, you got to make sure that you don't go underneath the cloth and pull your needle through. You got to go down and up at the same time. Bring the needle in the same hole. If you possibly can, miss the knot underneath, otherwise your needle is going to get stuck. Okay, then you run your needle through like this, and if it's going in kind of easy, so it's going to be all right. Then you hold it here again with this at the 3 fingers here. You hold it there, and again you got to keep your finger right over here. So the same as the bouillon, see, you come up here, leave the needle there, and instead of wrapping around the needle, because if you wrap it around, this flower will be done with the bouillon stitch, which is all right too for this design. But today we're doing the Hortensia, so you got to cast on the needle instead. So now we're going to have to pretend that you're going to knit. You ever thought about knitting a sweater with a needle that big? Well, so we're going to start again. Like I say, it's awkward because you never knit with a needle this big before. So you hold it here, hold your thread over your 4 fingers, and just pull it to the side, and come over here and catch this little loop. See? And then with this finger, you let go, and then you pull it and you slide all the way down. Otherwise, you're going to find the little loops, you know, when you finish, the loops will be loose at the beginning of the petal. So you put 30 of these on the needle. And if you can practice with the knitting needle first, or on a pencil to cast the yarn on, see, like half hitches, same as macrame, and the same as crocheting and knitting. Not the crochet really, but the knitting for sure. And then again, you catch it and you pull to the side, come over here and catch this. If you bring a thread over to the top, then you have to bring the needle all the way from behind and come over here, so there's no need to do that. So you already catch the thread, go to the side, and bring the needle to it, to the thread. See, and catch that loop, this thread over here. Let me see how many I got there. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 18, 19, 20. Okay, then you got to put 10 more. That's 24. And if you run out of space, you have to push that needle down all the way to the end, see, and hold it there again, and you have room to put some more. 5, 26. 27, 28, 29, and 30. See? Okay, then you make sure that all the stitches from the very first one you put it on the needle, the very last one, that you have them all even and all straight in a straight line to the left. Because as you hold, keep your finger right down here, all these fingers, don't just hold it like this. And then the fingers up there, put them all to work. So hold it here to keep the very ones from spinning around, because the minute you let go, it goes all over like this. And you don't want it to be twisted like that. Your petal will be just like that to be hard to get untangled. So it's important to straighten them all out before you pull through, when it's all nice and even. So you hold it there again, especially the very last one. See right there? You put that thumb right on top of this one and pull all the way through. And sometimes you just have to slide them off a little bit. But watch my left hand. Whatever I do is with my right hand, and once that stitches start sliding off the needle, I won't let go anymore. And mine twisted a little bit, so I got to make sure I get them all even, and especially, like I say, hold the last ones like this. And no matter what happens now, you never let this thumb and this buttonhole stitches go. No matter what you do. You can drop your needle, you can drop your thread, that's not important anymore. And you pull all the way through, and now, so now for one side peaked. Now you can let go, and it looks like this. But it's very important now that you put it where you want it first. And then you see the little thread over there. You got to pull this tight until this thread disappears. So you hold it here with your thumb, and you pull this thread tight frontwards like that. Opposite direction that you want the bullion to lay. I mean the buttonhole stitch. If you want to lay that way, you pull your thread frontwards like this. And again, your thumb must be on all the time. So now it looks like tatting, and it's kind of stiff too, like this. And if it's not very stiff, that means you got to pull this thread even tighter. So now you lift this thread over and go back to finish it up. So see, the same as the bullion stitch. You go down in the same hole where the thread is hanging from. So you don't go down on the left side of the petal, you go down on the right side of the petal. Right down there. And still keep your thumb right on it when you pull them down through. And then as you pull through, you still hold your thumb to make sure it stays in place. So if you start flipping all over the place, you got to use your thumb on these stitches. Doesn't that look just like tatting? Okay, now for the second petal, you're going to do the same thing. Put the petal at 6 o'clock. Well, this is the one you just did right here. So if this is the next one, you're going to have to turn your cloth around so this petal be on the 6 o'clock position. And then you come up on the left side of that petal. You don't have to lift this petal up here to peek underneath. You always hold that flat. And come over right here on a circle. Well, by the way, when somebody saw that the snake was coming over tonight, they left. That's why I only got 2 students tonight. And if the camera go kind of funny, it's because the cameraman left too. Okay, so then, look at that. See what I mean? She's over there sticking the tongue at you. I can't believe this. And you're supposed to be nice. Don't stick tongue at people. Huh. But you know why they stick your tongue like that? They just want to kind of hear the noise. They don't have any ears. They have to hear with their tongue. So, okay, now here on the right side of the petal again. Bring the needle right in the same hole and leave it there. And again, we're going to cast 30 times. So I did it slow once, but I'm going to have to, like I said, you practice this with the pencil so you don't stick yourself all the time. And if you just come way over here and get your finger out of the way, you'll be okay. And again, another thing we got to do is, if you cast too many stitches over here, and then you did this, didn't tighten it, and you did another ones right then. Now, when you want to tighten your stitches, you can push that stitches all the way down, see? But it won't tighten. You'll never be able to tighten this up, and your petal will be very uneven. So you got to make sure you do slowly, and then so they can make sure that everyone, you have your finger over there, but it's supposed to be in the front, not just to hide the stitches like this. So you catch it, let go, and pull it. See? Catch it again, let go, and then slide it down. All right, let me see here. That's 2, 4, 6, 5. We need 5 more. Okay, it goes 1. Okay, sometimes I miss some. I cast on it and look like I got it, and I don't. So you keep going 29, 29 and a half, and 29 again, and finally got it now. Are you guys casting it okay? Mm-hmm. And then again, when you pull it through, if it doesn't come through, if you're trying to slide it, and sometimes you hold this too hard, like this, and when you're trying to pull your needle through, it doesn't come through because you got to hold the needle here. You want it to come, but you don't want to let go of it. So you got to make sure you hold it just a certain amount that the stitches don't get away from you. And again, if you try it again, it doesn't come through. So you slide the very first stitches out, like about 3 or 4 of them, because the very first ones at the bottom, see, they hold. It usually gets tighter no matter what you do, and you have to just to slide them off. So now that the first ones are off, and you make sure it's straight, hold it there, and the very last one again. And now you pull everything through. And if it doesn't come through, Just be patient a little bit. Slide it, slide, and your fingers can get very strong at the tip after a while, and you'll be able to do them just fine. So then you pull it through again. So this is quite easy once you get it. And can be quite quick too. You lay in place, and there's your second petal. Okay, and then to finish it up, we'll do the same thing. Go back to the same hole on the right side of the petal. Again. Okay, now we're back to the third petal. You're going to have to kind of pull them apart a little bit so you can see where you're going to come up next. So then you're going to have to put that, turn it clockwise like this so that will be exactly. Now, gosh, you got a hold of me like that, I can't move my arm. You all right that way? There. Just tying me up already. Okay, so now, every petal is done exactly the same way. The only thing you got to watch is where you're going to come next. Oh, got to go exactly. Can't go towards the center. See, the left side of the petal is right there. On that very little space right there, the only space that's left between the petal and between the right side of the petal and the, see, all the way through. Turn the clock again. So then we're going to go all the way, make sure that's not the one you want to go. You want to go all the way here, because that's the right side of it. Sometimes the design is not just perfect, but you got to watch it. We come up again. Does anybody have any problem over there? No. Now, if you're getting any problems, don't worry about it.
Oh, Don's is just twisting.
Just twisting. Okay, maybe fix it. Okay, I'll cast this one over here, and then if it's untwisted, I can show you how to get it untwisted. Can get untwisted real easy too. Okay, so what I gotta do is, Don's just twisting. So what we do when it's twisting like this is because, like I said, they're not all even on the needle. See the twisting? But you can fix it. You can stick your needle right in there, inside that loop, and you do this, and when you do that, it flips right over. See, now it's straightened out. So you stick your needle in, or see, one way you're going to untwist it, or you can go the other way around too. Depends which side it's twisting to. So you make sure that you get that all untwisted before it's really tight. Because now that you have to tighten the petal, you place it in place where you want it. I always have to be twisted around a little bit like this. Then you have your thumb right on it again, and you pull real tight, and you're okay. See, that one's just perfect. Bet you thought you had a problem there, didn't you? Ha ha. So there's really no last case with this. You can always fix them up. See, that is. Then to finish it up, of course, you got to go back in the same hole again. Right down there. Okay, right there. And so you're going to have a lot of problems with the twisting and untwisting. But like I say, if you hold the stitches, the very last one and the very first one, and use all your fingers, they won't spin around. Because as soon as they spin around once, there's one twist. If they spin around 5 times, there's 5 twists. So, and by the way, it's only 3 petals can be done with 1 string of thread. This stitch really eats up the thread. So here it goes. I have 3, 4. And as the thread gets shorter, it gets harder to cast on the needle. That's 8. Then again, look, you gotta push it all the way in there because there's not any more room. And while you're holding that spell, don't forget about the other ones. Don't kill them. Kind of hold them nice in place. Another thing that's going to happen is, this thread, a lot of times you get so worried about casting the yarn on the needle, or the thread on the needle, that it's so short, you might end up losing. So you got to make sure before you pull through, you check it up every now and then to make sure you're not losing all the thread. Like I say, it's harder because you have a lot of shorter to work with. All right. All right. I don't know how many is on this, but if you were counting, you know better than I do. Let me see. Again, the edges from the very last one, always make sure it's all straight. And make sure your thread is okay too over there, because if it's almost coming off, you might lose it. And also, if the thread is, if you have too much thread on the needle, like this, then when you're going to pull through, this thread is going to get caught over there. It's going to be harder for you to work with. So make sure you get a lot of the thread out of the way. Hold it. Same way, see? Pull off very few stitches there, 3 or 4. Get a hold of everything again. Don't forget the last stitch. Gotta get a hold and slide them off. And at the same time you slide off, you pull the needle off. Through. See, now it's through. I never let go yet. Okay, and just lay it down in place, and that's 3 petals. There. And that's 3 petals right there. 2 more to go. Were you able to do any of it all?
I finished.
Finished yours. Ah, pretty soon I'm going to be able to pick on somebody's over here. Okay, so secure that. So now as we finish the third petal, there's not any more thread left on the needle. So we have to secure it and that. Then we get a new thread to finish up the other 2 petals. This one, I got a knot on it. So then again, look, gotta make sure, place that petal clockwise, right down here. And you come over right on the circle again. It's the only little space that's left over there. This is the only little space that's left. So that's where you come up with your needle. And that is the same time as the left side of the petal. And I'm going to do this one here very quick, so that we can complete this one flower. How's everybody doing there? Okay, the 4th petal, so you come up inside of that one, and you touch the first petal you made. That's where it goes. You touch right on the circle. You don't go behind, on the top, no place, but just right, as close as possible to the side of the first petal you made. Then bring your needle back in the same hole, the thread, where the thread is, and then we've got to cast that on again. And this time I'm doing quicker, so we can finish that one up. 7, 8, 9, and 10. I haven't even stuck myself yet. I think I spoke too soon here. Push the needle through a little bit. 2, 3. Gotta slide them off. There's 3 right there. And there's many flowers you can do this stitch also. And you can, depends how many times you cast on the needle. Yeah, this is the 4th petal right there. And again, see all these petals all curved like that? Don't you think that curved a little bit like my friend Charlotte over here? I bet it does. Okay, so everybody was all right? Didn't have any problems? Well, that's just a perfect one right over there. Now all we need to do now is put the French knots on the, see how nice this one is? And it comes in all colors, and then all you do is you put the French knots in the center. And see you the next time again, and we'll complete the flower.